I'm an old soul, raised on that old school. 90s baby, but raised on them old rules. Always looking stressed out when I roll through. I'm a plumber, you don't know the shit I go through. Everyone talking about they tryna double up, but you failed your math class, you sound dumb as fuck. No smoke, but I'm always down to knuckle up. Fast lives always crash, you better buckle up. Been annoyed since I came back in the rap game. They get a little money, spend it on a fat chain, while their mama broke, suffering with back pains. Suburban kids thinking that it's cool to clap things. I didn't know being real meant telling lies. Vision without a plan, bro, you just fantasize. Never at the gym, but right now it's crunch time. You hard body, let me see you take this punchline.
What's up, you guys? This your boy Tay. For the y'all that don't know me, I'm a rapper, and I'm kind of an up-and-coming rapper. I don't get a lot of buzz, but you know, that's out of the situation right now. I'm trying something different, and I want to talk about music. And in the future, I'll have more videos like this, and we talk about music, and you guys could state your opinion in the comments and stuff like that. This is pretty much just how I feel, you know, and then everybody has a right to disagree, you know. That's totally perfect. But today's topic, we're going to talk about old school rap versus new school rap. So, let's start out with old school rap. So, old school rap was very meaningful. I felt like every song had a meaning to it. It wasn't like repetitive too much. And like, you know, you would make a song and then you would come out with the hook for it, and you would base all your verses around that hook. And that's what your song would be about. Kind of like this video right now. You know, like I'm coming up with a topic. You know, and the topic is old school rap versus new school rap. You know what I mean? And we're going to stay within that category on this. You know, so I feel like back in the day, it was very meaningful. Because, you know, every song had a different meaning to it. Nowadays, I kind of feel like that's not the thing to do. You know, nowadays it's kind of just like, they kind of just throw whatever at you. You know, even in the verses, like the verses is so scattered with just random stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean anything to me personally. You know what I mean? Like, there might be a couple bars in there where, like, you know, like I relate to it. You know, but at the same time, it's like, man, like, it's not like that old school stuff where it was like motivational because, you know, you would stick to one category through the song. You know, nowadays I feel like they shouldn't even have hooks because due to the fact that like your verses don't even revolve around your hook, it's kind of like whatever, you know. So we're going to talk about that. I also wanted to talk about like the dress code. You know, like times are changing, you know. I dress with smaller clothes today, you know what I mean? Back in the day, you used to have white tees and stuff like that. So nowadays, it's not really like that, you know. Everything's smaller on you. So like back in the day, only people that wore really like skinny jeans was like punk rockers. You know what I mean? Like the heavy metal fans and stuff like that. Those guys, they wore skinny jeans. Nowadays, like, you know, like people wearing skinny jeans. I don't wear baggy jeans no more. My pants actually fit me better, you know, but that has to do with growing up too. You know, I feel like it has a lot to do with just growing up in general. But it's very different. The swag nowadays, you know, the drip, how they call it nowadays. It's very different. You know, like I don't really pay too much attention to it, but at the same time, I feel like it's something that needs to be addressed. And I feel like when they come out with music videos, it's like they're not dressing like themselves. It's more like the director saying, hey, throw this clothes on. But I feel like they kind of did that back in the day too. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same, but now you're starting to wear like dresses and like, you know, kind of stuff that's kind of out of my reach. You know what I mean? Stuff that I wouldn't particularly wear, but that's, you know what I mean? I guess that's just the new thing nowadays. You know, so that's the culture nowadays, you know. But I also wanted to talk about new school rap. If you notice, it's very melodic now. You know what I mean? A lot of people are singing, which is cool. But at the same time, a rapper that can't sing, an engineer can make him sound like he sings. All he has to do is hit those notes. It doesn't matter if his like voice is cracking, they could clean it up, or they could do like 1,000,001 takes over it. You know, back in the day, it wasn't like that. It was like, you know, you rap. If you do R&B, you do R&B. You know, you rap or you sing. That was it. You know, nowadays I think it's cool that they do the singing with the rap and stuff like that. I think, quote me if I'm wrong, but I think Drake was kind of like the first rapper to actually start singing and stuff like that. But I feel like he doesn't really use auto-tune and stuff like that, which is really good. You know what I mean? Because he could actually sing. But I feel like these youngsters that are coming up, they are singing, but they can't sing for shit. So it's like, not to say every single one of them, but I feel like they can't sing for shit. So it's like, you know, you need a very good engineer to do that. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be in the studio for hours and hours and hours just trying to hit that right note. You know, and you know, it comes out sounding cool, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like it's kind of unnecessary, but that's their style. You know what I mean? That's their flow. That's their rhythm. That's how they feel. You know, so it's cool, but I just hate when I see like these videos like on Instagram and stuff like that, like oh, they're doing a concert and oh, the song in the back cut off, so now you hear him actually singing and it sounds like shit. I don't understand how you could really consider yourself an artist at that point. That's just my personal opinion. You know, if I can't sing, I can't sing. I'll try my hardest to do it. I feel like this last album that I did, I messed up on the singing 100% in a couple of the songs. Only a couple of songs I really sung on. But like, I feel like now I had a right engineer to actually help me hit the notes right. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just kind of don't really appreciate the fact of calling yourself an artist if you're just being picked up by the engineer too much. You know, you got to be able to do that on your own. That's just my opinion. You know, what else can we talk about today? Old school rap versus new school rap. Back in the day, there was a difference between rap and hip hop. They were similar, but they were still different. You know, like rap was kind of like more the hardcore shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like the gangster shit. You know what I mean? And then hip hop was more like the self-conscious type stuff, like the more make you get up and want to dance type stuff. You know what I mean? It like the feel-good music, like the soul music. You know what I mean? Nowadays, I feel like it's just like, it's not rap or hip hop. It's just, I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of like in the middle. You know, but I feel like nowadays music doesn't make you feel good as much as old school music did, because it had that good feeling to it. It had a good feeling to it, and it had meaning. You know, like how can you? I don't know how you can sit back and call yourself an artist if it doesn't mean anything. You know, like I said, lyrics today are just very scattered. I feel like the metaphors nowadays, majority of the metaphors, in my opinion, nowadays are whack. I'm sorry, but they just, like, once in a while you might catch somebody hitting some bars and they come out with some good metaphors and stuff like that. But majority of the people, I feel like some of their metaphors just like, bro, like why you could have left that alone. You know what I mean? Like, you could have wrote something else for that bar. You didn't have to, like, it seems like you're reaching way too much. It's like, nah, bro, just, you know what I mean? Don't even do all that, you know? Or like, you didn't really have nothing to say, so you're just like, all right, whatever, boom, I'm gonna just write this. And it makes sense to them, but to everybody else, you're like, bro, what the fuck is he talking about? You know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense. You know, and then you gotta sit back and look at the lyrics, and then you're like, oh, shoot, like, that's what he said? Like, I didn't even really catch that or understand it, really. I still don't at this point. You know, but like I said, it's not everybody that does it. You know, I just feel like once in a while I'll hear it, I'm like, whoa, like, you kind of going overboard with this. You know, and I feel like back in the day, they had punchlines. They had great metaphors and stuff like that. And I just feel like they kind of lost that, the new school. You know what I mean? They kind of lost that on the way. So it's kind of frustrating, but at the same time, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I can't really knock them for it. You know, that's just how they feel. I don't know if their brain capacity is not that intelligent or what. I don't know, man. That is 100% on them. Let's see, what else can we talk about? New school, old school. Let's talk about streaming wise, music sales and shit like that. So back in the day, right, you had to, like, this is how you figured out music from back in the day. Me growing up, you know, I'm almost 30 years old. So in the 90s and stuff like that, you would hear it on the radio, or like they had BET, they had or early 2000s, late 90s. They had BET, which had music videos. They had VH1, which had music videos. MTV, which was music videos. Then you had the radio. Of course, the radio will play songs. And I think that was kind of like the only promotion that the artist really had at that time. You know what I mean? So back in the day, like I remember growing up, and I bought the first Eminem album, and it was on a cassette. Me and my mom was rolling around in a Cadillac DeVille, and she had it on a cassette, right? So I told her I wanted it. She bought it for me, and it was on a cassette. So I wanted to listen to one song, The Real Slim Shady. I don't know if you guys know about cassettes, but you gotta fast forward it. I think it was like the 9th song or something like that. So you gotta fast forward it and stuff. You gotta, and my mom's like, so are we there? Like, do I go forward? Do I go backwards? And I'm like, I don't know. That's the only song I know is The Real Slim Shady. So if I don't hear that, I don't know where we at. She cussed me out and stuff like that. So like back in the day, they would make money off of that. You know, buying the albums, you know, and you had to be kind of like, you had to be kind of particular on what you wanted to buy. Because if you know one song by them, you know, that one song that's playing crazy on the radio and the music video and stuff like that, if you know one song by them, what you gonna do? You're either gonna go buy the cassette or the CD, or you're gonna fucking just hear it when it comes on the radio and stuff, and the music video. You know, so it was kind of like, you know, you had to watch what you really wanted to buy. Like, you had to think like, okay, like, am I really gonna like this person's album? Because then, if not, I just spent $14 on it. You know what I mean? I still only like that one song. You know, but majority of the rappers back in the day, they had good albums. You know, they really did. And so, and then LimeWire came out, or Napster, and then LimeWire. You know, so then you could download albums. You just download everything for free. And then they shut all that down. And then iTunes kind of came out. But, you didn't have like 1,000,001 artists back in the day. You know what I mean? Because they were making money. You know what I mean? By buying the CDs. The only time they didn't really make money was when you would download it off of LimeWire for free. You know, so they were making money, you know, just off of sales. And then they would do their concerts. You know, they were making money. And then nowadays, I feel like there's just so much of abundance of artists that, because everything is streamed. You know what I mean? So you could just, you pay a monthly bill of, you know, $14.99 or whatever for Apple Music or Spotify or whatever. And then you could listen to any artist that you want. Any artist in the world. You know, back in the day, it wasn't like that. So nowadays, I feel like anybody can kind of rap because you just got to throw it up there. You know, and it's so big, that platform is so big that, you know, they got to have hella people. You know what I mean? Or else people are going to get bored with it. So they have to have a lot of people on it, you know, and it's just kind of crazy how times change, you know, and I feel like it just, you know, in a blink of an eye, it was just like, damn, like, everything changed, you know. But I don't really, honestly, I feel like I wish that we would have the old school rap back, you know, or they could actually like try to get more involved into it, you know what I mean? Like the new artists, you know, I feel like artists nowadays, man, they come out with a lot of drug music too. A lot of gun music, a lot of drug music, you know, and it's like, it's affecting a lot of people. You know what I mean? People that live in the suburbs, people that live in poverty environments, you know, people that live in like the hills and like, you know, it's affecting all these people, I feel like. You know, like, it's affecting them because they look up to these people. These are idols to them. You know what I mean? And they listen to the words and they're like, that's me. You know what I mean? Like, I want that to be me. You know, so then they kind of take it upon in a different way to where, like, they think that they that person. So when they think that they're that person, they go out there and they start doing stuff. You know, either drugs or they pick up a gun. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Not to say, like, you know, people in poverty environments, you know what I mean, they still go through what they go through, 100%, you know what I mean? I live in the Bay Area, so even in the suburbs, it's like, you know what I mean, sometimes it's kind of slummish, not like looking like slummish, but just like the people there, you know, a lot of people move from the big cities and they move to the suburbs, you know what I mean, and then now you got all these urban city people, you know what I mean, that kind of got kicked out of their neighborhood, and then they move out here, and then, you know, they look up to their uncles and their older brothers that grew up in it out there, and then they kind of bring it out here. You know what I mean? But it's like, well, you ain't even really in that situation at this point. You know, you're in a better environment, but you're still kind of doing the same thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like rap music just kind of tops it off at that point. You know, the drug music, it's like, it's crazy because, you know, when you do drugs, you get depressed. You know what I mean? I used to do drugs. You know what I mean? I kind of stopped. I don't know. I just kind of grew out of it. You get depressed to a certain point. You know what I mean? You feel like you can't live without that drug. You can't get by. I can't get by today without that drug. You know, and then it puts you in a funk. You know, and then you start getting depressed or stressed out or agitated. All these things. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like they make drug music because they're on drugs and they're stuck in that cycle, but they're kind of promoting it. I don't really feel like they feel like they're promoting it, but they're promoting it to where everybody else kind of wants to do the same thing. Now these kids is like, oh, I'm depressed too, because now I'm hooked on drugs, or because I listened to this song so much, this depressing song, that it made me into this now. You know what I mean? Now they're stuck in a phase. I feel like my little cousins is going through that right now. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a big deal. It's not really that big of a deal, but it is, you know, because like people commit suicide over depression and stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like I also feel like new school rappers, I feel like y'all be getting killed more than old school rappers. That's just how I feel. I didn't like sit down and do the math on it. But I feel like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, like you flashing your address, you know what I mean? Like you just getting involved in stupid stuff, you know what I mean? Putting 10 on 2 over things, you know what I mean? Like making the situation bigger than what it really is. And now, you know what I mean? Like, bro, you can't be doing that, you know what I mean? Like there's cameras and shit everywhere nowadays. You know what I mean? Like stay about the way, man. Like, and then also I feel like new school rappers, they're always on the damn phone. I ain't never seen a Kanye West, a Nas, a Jay-Z. I ain't never seen these old school rappers, Talib Kweli, Moses. I ain't never seen none of them pick up their phone on live or whatever, talking to somebody else on their social media and just talking shit. That's something you do not do. First of all, you're incriminating yourself. Second of all, you're putting yourself as a target. You are making yourself as a target. Not just to the police and everything like that, but you're making yourself a target to the other person. You know what I mean? And then it's like, drop your location, blah, blah, blah. All this. To me, that stuff is not cool. You know what I mean? I don't let a lot of people know where the hell I live. My homeboy be like, oh, can so-and-so come? Nope. I'm sorry. Nah, I like staying to myself. You know what I mean? So, you know, people just got to touch bases on all that stuff, you know. I mean, that's pretty much it. I feel like I kind of got into everything that I really wanted to speak about. Like I said, it's my first time doing this, so, you know, I'm kind of camera shy and stuff, but it is what it is, you know. As I get better at this, you know, the recordings will be better. Everything will be better, you know, but hit a like button if you liked it. If you liked the video, if you agree with me or not. If you don't agree with me, that's totally fine too. I love to hear you commenting and tell me, like, you know, how you feel. Like I said, this is just how I feel. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings or nothing like that. I'm just trying to express myself on this. You know what I mean? So I wish that we could kind of get old school rap music back, you know. But, you know, times change, man. You got to change with it too. You know, so I don't hate new music nowadays. I just kind of like, oh, it's cool. You know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, shoot, like that's the song. Nah, it don't excite me as much as it used to. you know. So, like I said, hit a like button if you like it. Hit a dislike button if you don't like it. That's totally fine too, you know. I feel like it's love regardless, you know, just looking at the video. And then comment something if you want, you know what I mean? Subscribe to me too, man. Check out my music too if you want, you know. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe. All right.
Second verse coming back with the hot shit. Trying to keep this game on lock like a locksmith. Hard to be heard with a different topic. Y'all need to stop it, all your raps are nonsense. You working 9 to 5, but you claim that you thuggin'. Up in Mickey D's making all the McMuffins. Minimum wage money in your video stuntin'. This ain't a poker game, so why do y'all like bluffing? I don't mean to hate, I just call it how I see it. But if you claim that you ballin', I'ma referee it. Everything I say is true, I can guarantee it. You can have a receipt, but you ain't gonna need it. Was that over your head, or should I dumb it down? I'm only 5'7", y'all still up in the ground. That means your rap's dirt, better change up the sound. Y'all throwing up bricks, I'm grabbing rebounds.